as you and Taylor have embarked on the project with Tate to become a receiver, any quarterback turned receiver that you've seen similarities to, that you've encouraged him to study, whether it's Edelman, Randall L, someone else, where you've said, I want you to study this guy and the transition he's made, or nuances of the position, anybody in particular?
No, we have not done that. Maybe Taylor has, but I certainly have not. But you know, those are good comparisons, because I think obviously, you know, a lot of times, you know, quarterbacks in high school or quarterbacks in college are just, you know, they're good athletes, and they can do other things. And you know, again, we think Tate is going to continue to develop, and he got a lot more plays in this weekend, and will continue to have a bigger role.
And the skill there, I'm sorry, Dave, one follow. The skill there which intrigues you about his ability to play that position, would be what?
Yeah, he's a natural ball catcher. He's got very good ball skills. He's got really good short area quickness, and he's tough and competitive. You know, so those are traits for a lot of guys that I've had in the past that have turned to be very, very positive for them. So again, he's going to be a good player.
Hey, Dan, Jared said he thought he still left some plays out there against Bethune. I think early on in the first quarter he had some throws that were behind guys or just not on target. How would you assess his play in that game? And I guess overall, just the way he's sort of progressing through his reads, what kind of job he's done through the first 3 games doing that?
Yeah, I agree with Jared's assessment. I think he started out he was a little tentative, if you will, maybe first game at home or whatever, you know, whatever those things are. That's the way we started, to be honest with you, as an offense, really. We had three plays in a row there where we had some kind of miscue and had to regroup and regather. And I think Jared was in the same boat, but I did think he played very well, especially he finished very strong. And, you know, and again, it's a really good, you know, thing to go through is he wasn't playing real well through the first quarter and a half. Maybe he wasn't playing bad, but he just wasn't playing, you know, the way he had played in the North Carolina game. Really, he was playing a little slower. And, you know, we were talking about that on the sidelines, and then I'll give him credit, you know, the last 2 drives before the half, we scored, and that's a real positive for him to be able to put those things behind him and just play the next play. And we scored a touchdown, and our defense did a tremendous job, got a turnover. Jaron made a great throw on the 1st and 10 throw, the throw to KJ to get it in, you know, at the 18 or 20 or wherever we got to, and then obviously did a really nice job of on the second down, the 1st and 10 play for the touchdown. So. And then he came in the second half and took him down on the first drive for a touchdown, led us down the field. So I thought he did a real good job responding to a little adversity because again, you know, as we all know, you know, every game's not just, oh, it's here we go, completion. There's adversity, there's ups and downs, and you know, and I've also said in here, there's 2 parts to it. There's handling success and there's handling adversity at that position. And learning how to handle success is just as important. And I think thus far, I think Jaron's been very grounded and showed a lot of maturity with the way he's at least presented himself around me every day and his teammates. He comes over here hungry every day. He has done a better job preparing. We're trying to help him with that. We've given him some tools as a staff to help him be more diligent in his preparation throughout the week. And I've noticed a very focused, business-like Jaron Williams for, you know, really since he was named the starter, and that has continued. So we just got to get better in that area as well.
Dan, just what you got out of Mark Pope, and if going forward, assuming he's all right, just how much his opportunities can grow.
Yeah, he looked great, man. I mean, for the first time in a game, and except for a couple flashes in practice, he looked like the explosive, fast receiver that I had heard a lot about when I first got here. I think one of the big things with Mark, I think again, he is starting to feel more comfortable. I think he's understanding, you know, if guys don't know where to line up and know what to do, they're, you know, right away you're going to play a little slower because you're thinking too much. You know, you got to play, when you play fast is when, you know what to do. So I think we're seeing an example of Mark understanding what he's supposed to do, and then we're seeing his athleticism take over. Thought he ran some very good routes, ran the ball great on a dash, got north, made a guy miss. So again, he was that was awesome to see him do that just for him, because I know he's been working very hard. But B, for our entire offense to have hopefully start establishing an explosive weapon like that.
Dan, Peyton Matoka, also Nkosi Perry, talk about him, and I was just wondering, is your philosophy to try to get, you know, somebody as young and inexperienced as Peyton in the game, even through the first 4, you know, the NCAA rule with the 4 games,
Yeah, I think that would be nice if we could do that. Again, you know, it depends, you know, how the flow of the games dictate and everything. But you know, really, we discussed that Saturday too, Coach and I. But really, we wanted to try to get Nicosi as many plays and reps as we could get him, since he hadn't played yet at all this year. You know, new offense for him as well and everything. And I thought Nicosi played very well. You know, his first play, he went in, he had a boot, and he had a guy open. He got a little greedy and threw the ball down the field. But besides that, he did a really nice job. Good feet. The eyes were good. Ran the team very, very effective. Got him in and out of the huddle, and a couple of our RPOs he made really good decisions on. So I thought Nicosi played very well.
So far, it's 8.4 yards per carry for DJ. Is he even better a back than what you thought when you arrived? And also, just a challenge, Dan, getting in a third tailback. We finally saw Robert Burns, and I know you and Manny and the staff had raved about what he had done this offseason. Have you wanted to get him in more before Saturday and just challenging to get in a third back?
Yeah, you know, Robert Burns has done a really good job. He maybe didn't have. Obviously didn't have quite as good as Cam and DJ did, so we felt there was a little separation between the three of them. But Robert has just been plugging away, man. He's an A+ as a person. He's a very good player. He's a different type of back than we have, which is really nice to see. And I told him after the game, I said, if you keep running like that, you're gonna earn yourself more carries and more of a role on this team. But yeah, we would love to get him going too, because again, he brings a different dimension to it. But the other thing is that DJ and Cam have just been running so well. It's hard to take those guys out right now, and those guys have not been overworked either up to this point. And I think Coach Hickson has done a really good job of balancing out the carries and the workload of those two guys thus far. And yeah, DJ's he's sneaky fast or something, man. I don't know. I tell the staff, I'm like, he doesn't look that fast, but he continually just runs for long runs. You know what I mean? And he's got good wiggle. I think he's got really good vision. And I think he's a guy that he kind of he can make his cuts while he's still moving forward, so that allows him to get the long speed a little quicker than, and that's a huge characteristic or great characteristic for a back, to be able to get the long speed very fast, and I think DJ does that. But he's again very versatile. He's a good pass catcher. He's good in protection, and just playing very, very well for us right now.
Dan, talk a little bit about Central Michigan. You were the head coach there. Decided you didn't want to be anymore, which is something you never see in your profession. Went back to be a coordinator, and just talk about that period of your life. Why you decided you didn't want to be a head coach at that point. Do you want to ever be a head coach again, or do you prefer to be a coordinator? There's so many questions. There's so many that are just a byproduct of that, just because it's so unusual.
Well, I was there as the head coach for 5 years and had great memories, and worked with great people, had great staff, players that we recruited there. I love the players. So many good memories of being there for 5 years. Have some very, very good friends that still live there and are in town, and just great memories. The big reason I left was that the president at the time and the administration, I was putting my heart and soul into the program, and they were not putting their heart and soul into Dan Enos, if you will. So it was just time, for my family and I. Again, when you put your heart and soul into something and you give it everything you have, you want people giving you that same type of backup in return. And we just felt like after 5 years we weren't getting that. It just felt like our best move for our family at that time in my career was to take the opportunity that Coach Bielema had given me, and it turns out it's been good, been really, really good for us. But certainly my time there with the people that I was able to work with, from a day-to-day standpoint, the staff, the operations, the trainers, strength staff, and everything was an A+. The players, loved the players, and everything. But at that time, it was just time to move on. And would I like to be a head coach again? Absolutely. If the opportunity presents itself. I'm a different person than I was in 2009. When I got that job, I'm in a different place. So I think sometimes when you're young in your career, you're consumed with being a head coach. That's just the ultimate goal. And again, I was very blessed and fortunate to have that opportunity. But then as you move through life, you realize that sometimes, better, different opportunities are, I don't have to be head coach is what I'm trying to say. I love being a coordinator. I love coaching offense, calling plays, coaching quarterbacks. And when you're a head coach, some of that stuff is you can't do, if you will. So, if the opportunity presents itself and it's an unbelievable opportunity, we would certainly consider it. But again, I'm very, very happy doing what I've been doing. And again, different things happen for different reasons, and we feel very, very blessed where we're at. I feel like God has a plan for me and for my family, and He's directing my steps, and whatever may happen, may happen.
So a couple more questions for
Yes.
Coach Enos.
I'm not gonna ask you as many questions as
Thank
Gary.
you.
Just do it. I have
I'm
one
starting to
question.
sweat right now.
I got two for you though. One, just first part is Larry Hodges. We've seen him take on a much bigger role. Obviously, caught the 2 touchdown passes. What have you seen from him that maybe made you want to elevate him into that role? And then secondly, Jeff Thomas asked Manny this question. He's still very involved in the offense, obviously, but I think his longest catch is 18 yards. He's a guy who averaged 16 yards a catch last year. The opportunity's just not been there on the deep ball as he's running shorter routes. I guess how would you sort of explain Jeff's situation?
Well, again, Jeff, we're trying to. I think in the first game, we had some opportunities to throw him down the field. We just didn't get him the ball. In week 2, I know we threw him a post and we threw him a go route. You know what I mean? They were both incomplete, but I think he had a chance to make the catch. So again, I just think it has nothing that by design, if you will. You know what I mean? Also, we're trying to get more receivers involved, so it's not like Jeff is out there every. You know what I mean? We're trying to keep guys fresh, and so we're trying to get Mark Pope a deep ball. We're trying to get him a deep ball, and again, we can't throw that many deep balls at certain points. So, but Jeff's doing a really good job, and I would expect that at some point he will like Mark Pope have a day where he's going to explode and have a game where he has some big plays. I think he's really close, especially on some of those even runs and things like that. He's getting really, really close to busting out. But we're happy with Jeff's improvement and the way Jeff's playing, and he's blocking, and he's being a complete player, and all that type of stuff. And what was the other part of the question?
Larry Hodges.
Oh yeah, Larry. He's a tremendous, got tremendous ball skills, and that's one thing that Larry has shown from the moment he stepped on campus was the ability to catch the football, run routes. He's got really good hips, got good body control, and so again, we have very good tight ends. So we're trying to expand Larry's role because we think we can utilize him in different areas. So he's going to be kind of like that H-back, if you will. He'll be in the backfield some, he'll be on the line of scrimmage some, he'll release from the backfield, but he can also line up on the line of scrimmage and block a 6 technique or run a route. So Larry's role, again, is going to continue to increase. And again, we talked about trying to just play more players, show confidence in these players that we have confidence in them, and they got to just prove to us by their work ethic each and every week that we can put them on the field.
This is the last question for Coach Enos. Dan, if you could just touch on the offensive line a little bit, the improvements they made. I know tough to gauge into Bethune, but dominant for most of the game. But I know also some of the short yardage situations early on when 3rd and 4th downs weren't being converted. Could have gotten a better push. Just if you could assess that.
Yeah, the one 4th and 1 that was on me. It was a bad call. It was a bad call structurally. It wasn't anything to do with the offensive line. That was one that I take on me. But other than that, I thought the offensive line did a tremendous job. I don't think. The one pressure that we did have was on the back. It wasn't on the O-line. They did what they were supposed to do. But I think the more they play, the more continuity is going to be there. The more cohesiveness will be there. Ja'Kai Clark continues to play very well. He's a true freshman. Zion's a true freshman. So, in my opinion, whether we're playing whoever we're playing, it's going to be, they're playing against sometimes 22-year-old guys and they're 18 or 19 years old. So, it's going to be a challenge for them, and I thought those guys rose to the challenge on Saturday. They played very well. Corey Gaynor played very well Saturday, and DJ Scape did as well. They all did. They did a good job. And I will say this, you didn't ask me this, but Brevin Jordan blocked his tail off Saturday. He was dominant in the C-gap area at the point of attack, and it shows how willing and unselfish that he is, which the whole team sees that. The guy, because we all know what a pass receiver he can be, and Will Mallory and Michael Irvin, same thing. Those guys did when they got in. They did a tremendous job for us, and that's what helps your running games. Really, when you get a tight end that controls the C area, it helps everybody.
Great, thank you.